to it, and particularly when you are comparing it to the outside temperatures, 78 feels nice and cool. If you've got fans, you can use those to help mitigate that. That saves money and it lessens the burden on the grid. As Austin mentioned, we have a Healthy Homes ordinance that's coming into effect in 2024. I wish it was in effect now, because one of the things that ordinance, and again, thanks to the mayor's leadership and the council's partnership, it requires air conditioning to a specific level to protect our renters. This is really a fundamental right, and so we'll be real excited. I urge all of our landlords, even if it's not in effect right now, this is something you can easily do to protect your renters. We encourage folks who are energy insecure, who maybe don't have access to regular AC, or can't afford to run it 24/7, to utilize the cooling centers, and encourage your friends and family to do the same. In public buildings, libraries, any public building could be potentially a place to cool off. I know Director Fields is going to talk and has been doing amazing work with our unhoused population, but they face the greatest burden of the extreme temperatures. When your body cannot cool down at night because the nighttime temperature doesn't go below 80 degrees or feels like 85 or 90, your body cannot regulate temperature appropriately, and that leads to further risk. When there is no break in that for weeks, if you are outside, it's incredibly dangerous. And so that's why we're working very closely with the Office of Homeless Services and Strategies, with NOSAP, with community development, with our service providers, to not only make sure that our shelters have expanded capacity, but to really aggressively use every potential housing resource we can to get folks off the street. Nate in particular and some of our staff at NOHD are in the encampments every single day, providing water, doing wellness checks, making sure that those folks know that there are places that they can go. We've been working really closely with NOSAP to provide health-based recommendations to support activations of heat emergencies like the mayor has done today. We have looked at thresholds from other cities, such as Phoenix, that have long-standing relationship with heat activations, and this is just a shift in our planning. As we've got, infectious disease protocols, and we have hurricane protocols, now we want to make sure we have evidence-based scientific heat protocols. This will allow us, as Colin alluded to serve the vulnerable population that are regulated by our ordinance. This is putting the lessons learned from Hurricane Ida into direct action. What our nursing home and elderly living facilities ordinances will do with this activation is mandate daily check-ins with our staff to update us on the condition of the buildings and of their residents. They have to know who is there and make sure they can account for folks, and if there is any challenge, if somebody's AC is undergoing repair, if there's a generator that it needs servicing, if there's work being done to the building, we will know about it and can help direct resources so we can avoid some of the tragedies that we had after Ida. Please feel free to reach out if we've been already being proactive and checking up on some of the buildings that we knew were having work done. And just a reminder, heat kills more individuals worldwide than any other impact of climate change, more than floods, more than cold. So this is serious. Do not underestimate the seriousness of this current weather and take the steps to help your family and community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Regno. And we're going to keep the briefings moving forward. I'm going to ask Chief Samaran, EMS.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, I want to echo what was already said. I want to thank the mayor and other leadership for the attention that has been placed so far on heat. We have definitely remained front and center since this started, even before it started. We continue to have regular communication, regular coordination between departments to really respond to this unprecedented heat wave. And so I want to thank the mayor and everybody up here. We certainly we have no shortage of emergencies in the city, and so I think this administration has definitely proven its worth when it comes to responding to that. Extreme heat is dangerous because it can push your body temperatures beyond its limits and can cause permanent damage and even death if not treated. This is a very serious thing. You really this seriously. It is a life-threatening heat. Okay, so definitely take it seriously. EMS has seen a significant increase in the number of heat-related illness calls this summer. In an average year, we respond to 25 heat-related illness calls per month during the height of the summer, but this year it has quadrupled to around 100 calls per month. So we definitely have seen an increase in call volume for heat-related illness. Anyone is susceptible to heat-related illness, anyone. No matter if you're healthy or not, it's going to get to you at some point in time. The following people are at greater risk and need to pay extra attention. And as Doc already said, older adults, the very young, pregnant women, people with medical conditions or on certain medications, people living with limited personal resources or inadequate home cooling, and those that are unhoused. Do everything you can to prevent heat-related illness, including, as I said before, stay hydrated. All right, stay hydrated. Your body needs water to survive. So drink water early, often, and even if you're not thirsty. So stay hydrated. Juices and soft drinks are not a suitable replacement for water. You can replace electrolytes lost from sweating by eating salty snacks, salty healthy snacks, and electrolyte replacing stuff like Gatorade or Powerade or whatever sports drink you want. And avoid excessive alcohol in the heat. Alcohol and caffeine certainly decrease that when you're in the heat. Stay cool. Stay in a cool place if you're able to. Limit your strenuous outdoor activity during the hottest times of the day. If you work outside, take frequent breaks and cool off. Wear loose and light colored clothing and a hat. Use cool towels, cool showers and baths, or misting to stay cool. There are things that you can do to keep yourself cool, and so certainly do that. Know the signs of heat-related illness. Mild symptoms include profuse sweating, feeling weak and dizzy, nausea, vomiting, muscle cramps. As symptoms progress, you may stop sweating, become more confused or lose consciousness, and not able to drink fluids without becoming ill. If symptoms persist or get worse, go to your local emergency room or call 911. Obviously, you see that our call volume has gone up because many have succumbed to the heat, and we anticipate to see that as this heat continues. And most importantly, everybody needs to stay informed. Definitely call 311 if you have any needs, if you need information on where cooling centers might be or what resources might be available in the community. Go to ready.noaa.gov and certainly sign up for the alerts as they contain very, very important information. I just want to reiterate, definitely, this is dangerous heat. And it's dangerous for everybody, no matter what your health status is. So please take it very seriously. And stay hydrated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. And I'm going to ask Nathaniel Fields, who's our Director of Homeless Outreach and Strategies for our city.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, everyone, for assisting. Thank you for your leadership and definitely being there when needed for homeless services and outreach. I really thank you for everything that you're doing. Also, thank you to the Office of Homeland Security, who have just been amazing partners, as well as the Health Department, who just stepped up and gone above and beyond. We started this process July 30th of going out every single day, checking on the unhoused population and making sure that we are making sure they're awake, making sure they are drinking plenty of water, and also checking on those individuals who are on medication, because we don't talk much about that. On top of them not being able to have breaks, having proper fluid throughout the day if they're on medication, we have to really make sure that we're leaving behind multitudes of water so that they can have that water while taking this medication throughout the day, which dehydrates them. So we start our mornings off checking on those individuals, which off the top of my head, the 14 that I know of, I'm not only bringing them water, I'm also bringing them ice, and making sure they are awake. The other piece that we have been doing is pushing people to go to the shelters and transporting them to the shelter locations, making sure that they are connected to those services and understanding that we are in this very nasty heat patch that we want them to be connected to those services as best they possibly can if they will have them. Some persons have taken us up on it, hence the reason why our Lowberry shelter is almost at capacity. other shelters have been stepping up to make sure that the beds are available for the individuals who are coming off the street. Big shout out to Unity's outreach team and Travelers Aid's outreach team for going out in the field alongside me and my staff person to make sure that these individuals are awake. The health department for following up on the most vulnerable population and making sure that they understand to use precautions and stay in shaded areas. Also a shout out to NOPD and also for the EMS staff who have been actually showing up within 5 minutes of the phone calls to locations when called upon. This is amazing, and I'm thankful that we have a staff and a team who takes this seriously as our mayor does. We have been going out here every single day, making sure that everyone is okay, and just since the 30th, passing out 2,309 bottles of water, 502 cases to the different shelters and cooling stations. And that's just my team. I'm not talking about all the other staff who have been going out. Just me and my one other person has been going out doing those numbers. You can only imagine how many bottles of waters the health department has given out, the EMS have given out, that NOSEP has given out. We have been going out here trying to make sure that people stay alive. Yes, we've had a couple of heat-related deaths, but we would have much more if we weren't doing these efforts to make sure that the individuals that we serve are okay. Checking on them every single day and making sure that they understand that we are here to assist them. Our mayor took this and said, guess what, we have to do more. And when she says, meet them where they are, I'm a director who goes out into the field and goes into the tents to make sure that these individuals are awake. This morning at 8:28, I didn't know that we were going to come in contact with an individual who didn't wake up today. I didn't know that today was going to start off that way, but it did. But I could not stop because I had another individual whose life I could save. And every person who stands behind me today is a part of that nucleus. Every person who is putting together this forum today is a part of that nucleus. And everyone who is watching, we need your assistance as well. Check on the most vulnerable population, the elder, the unhoused, and that person that you see every single day. Yes, they might be drinking alcohol. Yes, they might be doing drugs. All you have to say is, are you okay? Did you drink water today? This could save someone's life. Please be a part of that solution. We already know that the heat is a part of that problem. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you very much. And I'm going to ask Larry Barabino Jr., who is our CEO of NORD, to come forward, and thank you for your just continued leadership and partnership.
Good evening. As the mayor has said in the past, NORD has become an essential part of our emergency planning, our emergency response, and our emergency coordination. As we transition our recreational centers from our multipurpose programs throughout the week and throughout the year, our centers transition over to whether we're doing emergency housing, whether we're doing emergency warming shelters, and now we're doing emergency cooling shelters. Our rec centers are open, all 12 are open Mondays through Fridays from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. They're open for regular services. Anyone is welcome to walk in any rec center, not only just to cool off, but take advantage of the programs that are there. Our kids have returned back to school. Our summer camps are closed. So the centers are open, again, from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. at night. On Saturdays, the normal hours of our center was on Saturdays from 9 to 12, but as you heard the mayor state, the centers will now be open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night on Saturdays and Sundays. 9 of the 12 will be open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night on Saturdays and Sundays as well, up until October 1st. Also with that, NORD swimming pools are open. Our 4 indoor swimming pools are open from 8, well, technically all of our swimming pools open at 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. Right now, we're preparing to open our swimming pools on Sundays as well. Today, the swimming pools close at 2 p.m., but right now, we're preparing to open the swimming pools up on Sundays as well. As we know, a lot of our lifeguards are high school students. They transition, high school and college students, they've transitioned to return back to school. So now we're trying to assemble enough of them to come and work just the weekends to make sure that we can open our pools for the families of New Orleans. Our goal is to ensure that At any time, if anyone wants to get out of the heat, they'll be able to go to the nearest Norwood Rec Center or pool in their community. We won't be able to open all of the pools during this time, but we will make sure that the 4 year-round pools are up and operational. Also with that, at least 6 of our seasonal pools will be open throughout the city, and that will be announced which ones will be open up until October 1st, 7 days a week. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. Now, before we wrap up, and I talked about, of course, the leadership assembled here is also in the form of partnerships. And Together New Orleans has been a critical partner with the city of New Orleans, of course, dealing with this heat for sure, but also as the city has activated and utilized Wisner money as well as ARPA money to ensure that we have lighthouses throughout the city of New Orleans, and again, to be able to meet our people where they are. This afternoon, we have Miss Asia Ognaby, who is here representing Together New Orleans. So, Miss Asia. I'm proud.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You know, in situations like this, I think of my grandfather. My grandfather was a bricklayer in the city. He and others of his generation laid the foundation for so many of the homes and buildings that we still occupy today. So I want to talk about bricks for building a new foundation. Mother Nature is no longer subtle about the impacts of climate change. Hurricanes are screaming at us. It's time to lay a new foundation. The sun is yelling down. It's time to lay a new foundation. Building that is going to require some bricklaying from all of us. Mayor Cantrell, you're laying bricks right now by calling attention to the fact that this extreme heat is an emergency. All the other leaders and departments in this room, you're laying bricks for that new foundation. Together New Orleans, our bricks are in galvanizing community and faith-based institutions to step up and fight for the future of the city. We've launched Community Lighthouse to build a network of 86 institutions in every neighborhood to have power independent of the grid and have trained volunteer teams so that we can respond in times of emergencies like these. 16 lighthouses are planned for the next 8 months. 3 are operating right now. That includes a site, St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, which is serving as a cooling center as we speak. None of that would be possible without your leadership, Mayor Cantrell. We feel the heat. Let's lay that foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Asia. So that has concluded our press briefing for you this afternoon. Again, focusing on the excessive heat and the emergency declaration that has moved forward on behalf of the city of New Orleans. And so with that, I'll turn it over to you, John, and we'll answer questions.
We have time for just a few questions if anyone has any. One question and then we'll wrap up.
Mayor Cantrell, I understand that NOPD, NOFD, the library, and criminal court is having issues with AC. Is the city doing anything to address that, get that AC working, especially those on our front lines?
Sure, as we've already reported to you time and time again, the issues that we have experienced with facilities in the city of New Orleans. And because of what we have experienced is why we're being very proactive here this afternoon. The city will continue to make the necessary repairs, getting in and building that capacity to do so. And it is truly a reflection, I would say, of decades of a lack of routine maintenance on many of our buildings in the city of New Orleans. That is a reality, and when you disinvest, you end up here. And what we're doing as a team and as an administration is making our facilities a priority, as we have since day one, but definitely given the existing conditions that we're under and moving through, it will require additional resources as well as manpower. And that's why this emergency declaration is so critical to our ability to respond in real time. That's why we're doing what we're doing right now. Thank you.
Thank you all. And we have to do our Spanish interpretation, so we can meet you all outside if you have like any individual